Hello and welcome to an outdoor version of Fairly Unbalanced. I'm back in Guatemala and enjoying my afternoon run. And while I was out today, the penny kind of dropped on something from yesterday's arraignment and indictment of Donald Trump on the 34 charges in New York City. Actually, a few things did, so we'll do this thing in two parts because they're separate issues. The first one is we all kind of got the basics of this, right? Uh, Alvin Bragg has a very, very good case that Donald Trump has committed a series of misdemeanors involving the falsification of business records. The real question is, how does he turn those misdemeanors, the 34 misdemeanors, into 34 felony charges, which he is alleging? We also know that the way that you do that is if the misdemeanors are conducted in an effort to commit another crime, then they become, under New York state law, felonies. But the question that he did not come out and answer in the indictment or the statement of facts was what other law was broken. And the talking heads have sort of been dancing around this since. But in his press conference, he did refer to what those laws could be. He said, we don't have to say exactly what laws those are, but here or two it could be. The first is a New York State elections law that makes it a crime if you conspire to unlawfully influence an election. That is, according to New York State law, another crime. Alvin Bragg is alleging that Trump did that. But how did he do that? Well, that's an interesting question. He did that by falsifying business records. And so this is sort of like a Gnip-Gnop or a game of Pong, it's in some ways a bit of a mirror game. Donald Trump falsifies business records. We know that. We also, allegedly, according to Alvin Bragg, know that he violated state elections law by conspiring to impact an election. But how did he do that? By falsifying business records. It's sort of like, I don't know, I remember being a Boy Scout and my scoutmaster telling me to go find a skyhook. So I went all over the camp asking people for a skyhook, and they kept sending me someplace else. And then it turns out that a skyhook is a hook that you supposedly hook onto a piece of sky and pull yourself up. That's kind of what Bragg's case is. Will it work? Maybe, maybe not. The other part, the other crime that he's alleging is probably easier to argue in front of a jury, and that he's saying that there was some tax fraud violations, and that's all pretty easy to get to because Michael Cohen ends up getting paid $400,000 or $450,000 for the $150,000 that he kicked out, and they did that pretty obviously because he was being reimbursed for a loan that he took. And they were paying it to him as if it were income, so he was going to be taxed on it, so they had to pay him double so he wouldn't get whacked with the taxes. That's an easy crime to prove. But this other one is really kind of ingenious and a little bit maybe too cute by half. We shall see. Love to you all.